I hope everyone is doing great today. Welcome to my channel. Let's talk about it. So the New Orleans Pelicans head coach, Alvin Gentry, was just dismissed from his duties after 5 seasons with the organization. So last Saturday, Executive Vice President David Griffin did come out with a statement saying that, they were glad to have Alvin. He did a great job, and with the NBA bubble restart with only winning 2 games, that wasn't their decision to fire Gentry. So even if he did win more games and they made the playoffs, that wouldn't have maybe changed the decision. So again, just give you a little bit of background of Alvin Gentry. So he coached the team for the past 5 seasons. The organization, New Orleans Pelicans organization, they did recruit him out of Golden State, and this was the same year in 2015 that Gentry was a part of the coaching staff, and they won an NBA championship back in 2015. So having him on the Pelicans was a great win for that team, because Gentry has a good past, guys. I know he's not really that head coach that wins championships and everything like that, but I think he's a good number 2, and especially when he was with the Phoenix Suns, I think he probably had his best coaching, his whole repertoire was on display. I think he did really good in Phoenix. So, but have him on the Pelicans, they only won under Gentry 175 wins and 225 losses. So just off of that 5 seasons, and I know they were doing a lot of rebuilding, so this definitely didn't help him. But now when you have a number 1 pick in Zion Williamson, you have all-star guard/forward Brandon Ingram, and underwhelming point guard, which is the former number 2 overall draft pick in 2017 with the Los Angeles Lakers, Lonzo Ball. He just couldn't put it all together. He had too many different starting lineups. I think it was about over 42 starting lineups this year. So he just kept switching it up, and I understand that too. You gotta try to figure out the flavor, who's gelling well with who. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like have the ball in Lonzo's hands and just let him run up and down the court and do what he does best, and he's a playmaker, and give it to Zion and Brandon. That's your nucleus of the team. I know you got JJ Redick, he can hit the threes. So did I want to see Alvin Gentry go? No. And I think they should have gave him 1 more year. And guys, he only had 1 more year left on his contract. So I think they should have let him play it out and see where it goes. But again, when you have the number 1 overall draft pick in Zion, you don't have time to waste. You want to just get running and get off with it, right? So did I think they were going to make the playoffs? No. I didn't think they were. They're a young team. They're still trying to put it all together. And just to give a little more to Gentry, he's actually the 2nd all-time in Hornets Pelicans history in winning, right? He has 175 wins with the organization, and that's first is Byron Scott. He's number 1, and Alvin Gentry is 2nd all time in winning history. So that says a lot about the team. They're just not, just their history is not that great. So, and another thing too, another reason why I didn't want to see Gentry go, there's not a lot of black men head coaches in the NBA. So when you get rid of one, you don't see too many left in the NBA that are head coaches. And I'm not talking about assistant coaches. You'll see a lot of black assistants, but not a lot of head coaches. So I did want to see him at least stay for a little longer. So right now too, David Griffin, he did come out again in a statement saying that the head coaching search is going to be, it's going to be long. It's going to be a slow process, and they're going to take their time. And the candidates that's on the lookout that they're searching for, that's in their vision, is Jason Kidd. And David Griffin and Jason Kidd, they do have history together in Phoenix, so that's something to look out for. You have Kenny Atkinson. He was a former head coach for the Brooklyn Nets. He did have success with the Nets, but he was released from his duties. So you have Atkinson, Jason Kidd, and you have Tyronn Lue. And we all know with Tyronn Lue, David Griffin, they did have that, they were teamed up together in Cleveland, especially when they won the championship back in 2016. So there's definitely a relationship. There's definitely history there. But I think with David Griffin, he's not going to rush it. He's not going to say, just because I have these relationships, I'm just going to just rush and hire whomever. Who do I think would be best for the job? It really depends on who's your flavor. So, for example, if you're going to keep Lonzo Ball, I say get Jason Kidd. Because Jason Kidd, obviously, a lot of Lonzo's game is a lot like Jason Kidd. So for the season, Lonzo is averaging 11 points a game, 7 assists with 6 rebounds. It's not off. It's not. It doesn't knock you off the wall, off the board. It doesn't. You're like, wow, spectacular numbers. Again, he's only 22 years old, and I know what you guys are saying. He was a number 2 overall draft pick, so he should be an all-star by now. But again, he has some injuries, and especially playing with the Lakers, I think there was a lot of pressure on him to just get off and run it at the age of 19 years old. So he's still young. I would give him maybe another 2 seasons before I say if he's a bust or not. But I think if he plays with Zion Williamson and he can stay healthy, he's a borderline all-star. Is that good enough? You guys be the judge of that. So I think Jason Kidd would be a great fit if you're going to keep Lonzo Ball, and if you're not, I would say go with Tyronn Lue. But I can see the Pelicans' future and their ceiling is very high. They have a promising future. A lot of guys are going to want to go to play in New Orleans because of Zion's there, and he's a once in a lifetime generation type of player. We said the same thing with Kevin Durant, Allen Iverson, LeBron James, things like that. And I think Zion is one of those guys too. I definitely think so. And I would say that's all I got for you on this, but I had to make the video about Alvin Gentry. It didn't get much coverage and media coverage, and a lot of noise. Nobody's really talking about it because right now it's about the bubble. It's about LeBron James, Damian Lillard, and the Greek Freak and Embiid and those guys. You didn't hear much about the Pelicans. I know they only won 2 games, so I wanted to kind of put more light into it. And just subscribe to the channel, guys, and like the video, share it. Tell me what you guys think about Alvin Gentry being fired from the team. Do you think, what's his next move? I think he's probably going to be an assistant coach somewhere, probably the Clippers, maybe go back to Golden State, to kind of get back into the winning side of things. And more videos to come. Peace and love.